Look closely at this narrow stretch of water between Iran and Oman. At first glance, it looks like just another line on the map. But this single passage carries a flow of energy that powers a large part of the modern world. And any disruption here does not stay local. It echoes through global oil markets, shipping routes, and national economies across continents. This is the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important choke points on Earth. The Strait of Hormuz sits between Iran to the north and Oman to the south. It connects the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman and the open Indian Ocean. Now zoom in. Around 20 million barrels of oil pass through this strait every day. That is roughly 1/5 of global oil consumption. Behind this narrow corridor lie major producers like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and Iran. For all of them, this is the main exit route to global markets. But Hormuz is not only about trade. Iran's position along the northern coast gives it strategic influence over the strait. For decades, tensions, naval confrontations, and threats of closure have made it one of the most sensitive waterways in the world. Because when energy depends on a single corridor, even risk becomes power. Now zoom out. In the modern era, Hormuz became a global choke point with the rise of oil in the Persian Gulf. And with that importance came instability. From 1980 to 1988, during the Iran-Iraq War, the region saw the tanker war. More than 400 commercial vessels were attacked. Oil tankers were hit, sea mines disrupted shipping, and naval forces were deployed to protect the route. It was one of the clearest examples of how a regional conflict can affect global trade. The war ended, but the strategic weight of Hormuz remained. Today, the strait is constantly monitored. Any tension in this corridor can move energy markets within hours. Because the stakes are never local, they are global. This leads to a simple question. Why can't the world bypass the Strait of Hormuz? The answer is geography and capacity. There are limited pipeline alternatives, but they carry only a fraction of the volume that moves through the strait every day. The system is structurally dependent on this passage. Now imagine a disruption. Not necessarily a war, not a full closure. Even a partial slowdown or increased risk would be enough. Shipping costs would rise, insurance premiums would increase, oil prices would react quickly, and energy importing countries in Asia would feel it first. Because in a connected world, one narrow corridor can affect everything downstream. Now step back. This is the Strait of Hormuz. Not just geography, but a pressure point in the global system. And the lesson is simple. Power is not only about size. Sometimes it is about control over the routes the world cannot avoid. Because when geography concentrates movement into one passage, that passage becomes power.